Hey guys, so today we are going to be talking about some news that has come out for Legends here. Before we do that, just want to make a quick update, news update, I guess. The reveals and stuff is coming out today, at least for me. It's coming out in, yeah, I mean, it should be for everyone. It's coming out in and I'm recording this video at 7:30, so it's coming out in 3.5 hours. Part 2 is coming. That includes new campaigns and events that are set to kick off during the second half, and the unforgettable iconic scene is finally here. Oh boy, I simply cannot wait. And then we have this. Now this is what I'm going to be making this video about. Regarding your feedback, I actually get a lot of people commenting that they wanted me to cover this, so that's what we'll do. I actually haven't even read through this yet, so I'll be reading through this for the first time on this video. It is quite long, so let's just see what they say here. Here we go. What's the excuse now? Thank you for your continued support of Dragon Ball Legends. We appreciate all the feedback you provided for the 4th anniversary events, Anniversary World Challenge Raid, and Full Power Battle. Okay, so this isn't even like addressing the main issue. So, well, sure. We are planning to make the following adjustments to upcoming raid events and full power battles to make them more enjoyable for all players. Really? Wow, okay. Adjustments to Anniversary World Challenge Raid. The overall balance will be adjusted to make it easier to obtain the featured Legends Limited Multi-Z Power 600 reward. On top of that, the drop rate for raid medals will be increased when new summonable characters are used in your party. Okay, so far it doesn't sound any different. Adjustments to the drop rate of raid medals. Raid medals will drop regardless of what characters you use or your party formation. In addition, there's a chance that multiple raid medals will drop even if no characters with bonus abilities are used. So far, this is telling me absolutely nothing because there's no actual hard details here about like how many medals are dropping. So for all we know, this could just be like, oh, you're going to get one medal. Like instead of 80 that you would have gotten if you had UI Goku, you're now going to be getting one medal. Like it doesn't actually tell us anything. Adjustments to event characters with bonus abilities. We will add bonus abilities that increase the raid medal drop amount to more event characters as well as increase the actual amount that drops with these abilities. Okay, so I mean that's pretty good, right? By event characters, obviously they're talking about free characters, and in this instance of the anniversary, obviously they're talking about like the free Goku, Tien, and Krillin. So even without spending money, you obviously can get those guys, so you'll be able to get some increased chance. Again, it doesn't tell us how many. So that's the thing I'm worried about here, right? Because it's like, oh, like you guys are about to get a bonus increased medal drop chance if you use the free-to-play Krillin, but guess what? It's one extra medal. Like that really doesn't make a difference. Decrease in the difficulty of obtaining rewards. Balance adjustments will be made so that if you form a party with only the specified event characters and clear the event 3 times every day during the event period, you will be rewarded with the 3,000 raid medals that are needed to obtain the featured Legends Limited Multi-Z Power 600 reward. Okay, seems fine, but okay, yeah. So it says only the specified event characters. So basically, if you use a party of only the 3 characters obtainable from the event, so the Goku, Krillin, and Tien, I guess, unless they come out with more, which they probably will in Part 2. I guess Gogeta also does count. The purple Gogeta. You're going to get enough to buy the Z Power, which is good. I mean, that's there's nothing bad about that, so that's good. All right, number 4, decrease in the disparity in bonus abilities based on limit break level. This is very good. Previously, bonus abilities would be greatly increased from limit break this red 2, so 9 stars. However, this will be adjusted so that more raid medals can be obtained at limit break 2 star. Okay. That is a good start, right? To be honest, I mentioned this in a previous video, but I don't know why they just don't say, okay, we're just going to make every star give you like a little bit extra raid medals. Like the way I would do it is I would just say every star gives you like 2 to 3 more medal drops. That's it. That's all you got to do, right? I mean, it shouldn't be like this drastic plateau jump from like 9 to 10 stars. Shouldn't give you like a ridiculous boost. So that's good that they're making it start at 2 stars, but again, I can't really comment on this until we see the actual details. Increase in drops with currently available characters. While the effects of the bonus characters Ultra Instinct Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta will decrease in the next raid event, they will still maintain a portion of their raid metal drop increase abilities. Plus, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 will also receive the ability to increase raid metal drops. So it looks like they're trying to give people a bigger incentive to summon for Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. For some reason, I don't like. There's literally no reason to summon on that banner, but I guess for whatever they have planned for Part 2, they initially weren't going to have Goku and Vegeta be giving you like bonus raid metal drops, but now they are. I mean, that should have just been like the baseline from the beginning, but sure, I guess. All right, so that's the changes for the raid, I guess. It's fine. Adjustments to full power battles. As this is meant to be an ultra-high difficulty PvE event, we will maintain the current difficulty level while making adjustments to enemy behaviors and balance that is deemed unfair. Okay. Number 1, significant reduction in the frequency of the enemy's vanishing step. Until now, there have been times when an enemy would evade an all-out rush or rising rush Z. By reducing the frequency of the enemy's vanishing step, it will be easier for the players attacking to hit. Sure. Number 2, increase in the draw rate of all-out rush. We will increase the chance of drawing an all-out rush while the enemy is preparing for an ultra burst, allowing the player to launch an all-out rush without conserving it. Number 3, elimination of gauge recovery while enemy is preparing for an ultra burst. The enemy will no longer recover their ultra burst gauge while building up an ultra burst, and players won't have to worry about situations where their attacks can't keep up with their recovery speed. Number 4, adjustments to Ultra Bursts. We will increase the time between Ultra Bursts as well as the enemy's preparation time before unleashing one. This adjustment will reduce the maximum number of Ultra Burst activations from 3 to 2. These adjustments will be made starting from the next release of these events. So it's interesting because they said in the beginning, right, like literally right over here, that we'll maintain the current difficulty level. How is any of this maintaining? This all just sounds like they're just nerfing the event, which I don't really like. I don't really think it's a bad thing, right? If you want to make it easier for people to do, then I'm all for it. But it just completely contradicts what like all these things that they're talking about is undoubtedly, undoubtedly going to make the event easier. So how is that maintaining the current difficulty? I don't understand. It's literally just contradicts itself. I don't understand. My biggest issue with the full power battle mode is that there's 500 zillion gajillion stop time events, and I can't even play the game. How many like main abilities and green cards and like ultimates and blue cards does your buddies use in that event? And I literally just can't play the game. It's an unplayable mode because it's just you spend 80% of the time watching other animations. I just don't care about that. I just want to play the game. That's my biggest issue with this mode. I actually think the foundation and the base mechanics of this mode are actually pretty good. This can be a fun mode, but that completely kills the mode for me. I hate sitting through like 500 different stop time events. It's so annoying. But if these changes are going to make it easier for players to complete this without having like a super high starred like new boost character, then that is completely fine with me. I actually really do like that. But again, I don't know why they say that they're not going to change the current difficulty level while also making these changes, because these changes are directly going to make it easier. I just do they not speak English? Like, I don't understand this. All right. Lastly, once again, thank you for providing so much feedback. Everyone on the management team and development teams will continue to make adjustments and improvements to make the game more enjoyable for all players. We hope you continue to enjoy playing Dragon Ball Legends. Okay, so let me just give you my overall thoughts on this right here, right? So there's two things I really want to say. Number one is about what they're doing here. It's interesting because I guess there's two different perspectives you can use, right? The first perspective is, okay, they recognize we have feedback and they're actually like, considering what we have to say and improving the game based upon what we're saying. Number two, the other, I guess, perspective on this is they should never have done this in the first place, and this is what the game should have. This is what these modes should have been in the first place, and this should never have had to happen because this is like such an outrageous thing that they did, right? It's basically like a company. I don't know if this is the right way to do this, but It's like a company, a lot of like retail, like this is a kind of a weird analogy here, but a lot of like retail clothing stores have strategies where they really, really overprice clothes, and then they'll have sales where it's like, oh my God, you get like 65% off this shirt, right? But in reality, the price is set so high that the 65% off price is like what the actual shirt should, like what the actual price of the shirt should be normally. So it's like they're sugarcoating this as being like, okay, yeah, we're listening to your feedback and we're doing everything we can to improve the game, but this is what the game should have been like in the first place, right? And even once these changes are made, I would still argue that it's not even close to what it should be anyway. So yes, in my perspective, in my opinion, this is good that they're addressing this, and it's good that they're listening to our feedback. But at the same time, it's like it's very obvious what you should and shouldn't do. So I don't know if I'm going to be necessarily saying like, yes, like they're doing so amazing with this change. Like we need more. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more things that need to change about this. And then the second point I want to make before we end this video here is that I think, at least this is just my perspective, right? There's a lot of different perspectives you can have on how this anniversary was handled. But for someone like me, who is mainly a PvP player and somebody who doesn't care as much about like the raid and like the full power battle, I am somebody who wants changes, fluidity, and diversity in PvP. That's the main reason I play this game, and I think that's the main reason why a lot of my viewers, why a lot of you guys play this game, people that like to watch my content, because my content is 98% based around PvP. For me, what makes this anniversary so lackluster compared to the previous 3 anniversaries, even the second anniversary was way ahead of this one in terms of PvP diversity, is because the only real character we got in this anniversary that even impacted the meta at all is UI Goku. You could, I mean, again, people like to point out, oh, the second anniversary was even worse than this. Well, guess what? Yes, Vegito Blue was completely dominating in the second anniversary, but we also had Fusion Zamasu, who was very, very good. Omega Shenron actually was pretty good. Like, obviously, Vegito Blue was a very, very bad matchup for him, but he was still really good. And even that green full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku was used. So, like, all 4 Sparking characters that released in part 1 of the anniversary, the second anniversary, were used. I'm telling you guys right now, I haven't ran into that Vegeta in like 2 weeks straight. Literally, not a single one. I don't think I fought a single Kale. I don't think I fought a single Urine. So literally the only character I've seen from the part 1 of this anniversary is UI Goku. And in the past week, I've seen a little bit of the free-to-play purple Gogeta, but I really don't like that unit. I don't think he's good at all. Well, I want to say good at all, but he's not as good as he should be. He could be way better. So that's the main issue I have here, and obviously they're not going to come out and address that directly in a letter where it's like, oh yeah, like, we understand that we didn't give as many characters as we could have. Like, they're not going to say that. This is the easiest thing on their end to like make amends with. Like, oh yeah, like we recognize that we didn't give enough rewards. We might have made it too hard for certain players to achieve this and stuff like that. Whereas like they're not going to come out and say like, we didn't prepare enough like premium characters in the banners. Like they're not going to say that. But to me, that is the main issue of this anniversary. Is it just doesn't impact the game enough for me, and that's the biggest difference I see between this anniversary and the past 3 anniversaries. But again, I think this is a fine change. I'm not going to give them super high praise for it because it's not anywhere close to enough, to be honest. But I guess it's a start, and we'll see what they end up doing in part 2 of the anniversary, because it's got to be a banger. It's got to be an absolute banger to make up for part 1, because this has been a little lackluster. Let's just call it that. But let me know down below what you guys think about this, regarding your feedback post in the news here. It's only about 3 hours away until we get information on what's coming out for part 2 of the anniversary. I will be covering that as soon as they drop the information for it, give my thoughts on it. And hope you guys are excited. Even though we've had a sort of downhill anniversary this year, hopefully part 2 brings it back up, and I'm excited to see what they have. So hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next one.